Hey BROCHIKAS, and welcome back to another video. For today's video, we have a fun little throwback, like chill video. I'm gonna be doing a piercing and tattoo tour. I have had requests for this, so I figured I would film it. And you're definitely gonna wanna grab a drink, grab a snack, because I do talk a lot and I'm gonna be explaining everything, so it might be a little lengthy. So I'm gonna drink my kombucha while I talk to you guys about all the piercings and all the tattoos that I have. So I hope that this is fun and interesting for you guys and a little bit of a change from what I normally do. And without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it. So I feel that it's only appropriate that we start off with my first tattoo. Let's go with tattoos and then we'll do piercings. First ever tattoo I got it as soon as I turned 18. So my birthday's in November. I think it was a week after my birthday. I went and I got this tattoo right here. So you guys probably like hardly see it just because it's on the back of my shoulder, but it's all of these stars together. Like all of these stars I got in the same session, and it's actually not a great tattoo. Like not trying to be shady or whatever, like no offense, but it's actually not a good tattoo. I am very scarred up from this tattoo. It's like risen, and even after years, and I'm talking about how many years ago was that? 12 years ago? And it still will get risen, and like I'll have like bumps. Do you know what I'm talking? If you have tattoos, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes that happens, but this guy has a really heavy hand, and so he definitely made some scar tissue with this tattoo, and it is just, you know, it's not the cleanest tattoo ever, so. I don't know why. I just thought it would be really cute to have stars on the back of my shoulder. I also wanted something very like chill and almost neutral, because I was like, you know, what can I like not regret in the future, just in case, because it's the first time I'm having a tattoo. I thought, you know, I could regret this. I could not. I don't know. Let me make it pretty plain and pretty like whatever, so that it's not something that I'm gonna be like an adult, a grown-ass adult, and think, ew, that's ugly. I don't know. That was my thinking. So I put 3 big stars, and then he hand drew all the little tiny stars, but they're so blown out, you guys. And I have no doubt in my mind that in 20 years they're just gonna look like black blobs. So it is what it is. That's my first tattoo. I still think it's cute, you know, like I like the stars. I've always liked the night sky, and I think one of the inspirations for stars was that I grew up with my parents, one in Texas, one in Massachusetts. So if you don't know my backstory, I've gone back and forth from Texas to Massachusetts my whole life, my whole childhood. I decided to live in Texas as an adult because I prefer it here more. But when I would miss my dad, when I'd go back to Massachusetts, because that's where I went to school, my mom had primary custody. When I would go to visit my dad and we had to leave, and I was like very sad and I was gonna miss him, he would tell me, just remember at night when you look up at the stars, I'm looking at the same stars. And so that's like, it makes me a little bit emotional to think about, but that's why I love the night sky so much, because it's really true. Like no matter where you are, you're looking at the same ones as your loved ones who are far away. So I don't know, that always stuck with me. And I've just been like a nocturnal beach forever. I believe this one was second. I believe so. So I decided to go ahead and get, it is straight. When I go like this, it's straight. But when I go like this, you know, because it's my wrist. But anyways, this is called a triquetra. It is a Celtic symbol. It's also a pagan symbol, a Wiccan symbol, if you will. If you don't know what pagan or Wiccan is, it's witches. It's the religion of witches, paganism, Wiccan. So I got this because I'm obsessed with Charmed. And if you've been following me for a while, you know I have an obsession with Charmed. I have an obsession with witches and vampires. I love fantasy more than anything else when it comes to watching movies and shows and all that stuff. Like fantasy is my thing. but not just any fantasy, like witches and vampires. Like those are my things. So anyways, I've been obsessed with charms ever since I was a little girl. My dad used to let us stay up on Thursday nights. It was on the WB, and he was like, this is the only night you can stay up because we're gonna watch Charmed. And I've just been watching it back to back to back ever since I was in 4th grade. Yeah, like literally back to back to back for my whole life. So I'm obsessed with charm. And then one morning I woke up and I was like, oh my God, like I'm just gonna get the charm symbol. I call it the charm symbol because they have this on the Book of Shadows. And if you watch Charmed, you're gonna see the symbol. It's there, it's the power of 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 sisters. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it. It's so 90s and so good. I absolutely love Charmed. And the style in there is so cute. But anyways, it means unity and togetherness, and it's a symbol of protection. So I felt like, you know, why would I not get this? It's a symbol of protection and unity with your family, I guess. I think of it like that. So yeah, that's what I got. I got it on my wrist, and I'll tell you what, this shit hurt. Okay? It seems like, so I feel like wrist tattoos used to be super popular, like all cutesy, like a little wrist tattoo, you know? So I was like, oh, I'm gonna get me a little wrist tattoo. Bitch, this hurts. I don't even want another wrist tattoo. Like I have another space here. I don't even want to do it because that hurt. I think it took about 45 minutes. It was done by the same man who did this tattoo. This one also took like maybe like an hour. This really didn't hurt me. The back of the shoulder blade, it was nothing. This hurt. It's so tender in here. I could feel him grinding against the bones and the veins, and oh my God, it was uncomfortable. So yeah, 45 minutes, still hated every second of it. It was so painful. It got so swollen that it looked like this. Literally afterwards, it looked like this for the whole day. And then this guy, he definitely like messed this up. This looks pretty blown out, you know, like it could definitely be neater. It's not the straightest of lines. I'm not like the happiest with the execution, and I don't think you guys are gonna be able to see, but he slipped up right here. Like he sneezed during the tattoo and like messed up. I know you can't see it from far away, but I know it's there. Anywho's, sadly, unfortunately, the man who did these 2 tattoos for me actually has passed away, but he had a super heavy hand, y'all. He was very old school. He was the owner of the tattoo shop of the place that I first started getting my tattoos at, which is Route 9 Tattoo in Massachusetts. I believe it's Natick, Massachusetts. So I always went to Route 9 Tattoo because it was the only tattoo shop near any of the towns that surrounded my town. I grew up in a super small town with like nothing in it, not even a mall. We had to go to Natick to get to a mall, and you had to go to Natick to get to a tattoo shop, and it was just the closest one. And everybody in high school, like everybody we knew, like that's where you went for your piercings or your tattoos. So that's just where I went. So speaking of the next one, I got it at the same place, and this was from a different person. So I got the roses done at Route 9 Tattoo as well, and it was by an artist named Quinny. He is no longer at that shop anymore. I don't know what shop he's in. I think he's in New Hampshire somewhere, so I'm sorry, but I get asked about this tattoo more than anything. Literally since I've had it, which I think I've had it for 10 years, I've been asked about it. Like, I'll go to the grocery store, I'll go to the gas station, I'll go to Walmart, work, whatever. Constantly, strangers will stop me and ask me about this tattoo because it's so bright and colorful and beautiful. And I do have lotion on right now, but like I don't know if it's just make it even brighter for y'all to like see it, but it's 10 years old and it still has such good color in it because he was like, I'm packing this in because I want it to be bright. This tattoo was the first step in me finally realizing like what kind of style I wanted to have on my body, because with this, I didn't know what I was doing. And with this, I was just like, I just want this. And so I just had 2 black pieces, and I thought, oh, like maybe I'm just gonna go with a black and gray theme only. I'll only get black and gray tattoos. Maybe I'll just do a lot of like Celtic stuff which is super in back in the day. It was like a lot of tribal Celtic stuff. And then I don't know where I saw it. I feel like I saw something about Sailor Jerry, and then I got deep into the whole of like American traditional tattoos, started looking things up, and I was like, oh my God, I never thought I'd put color on my body, but these are so gorgeous, and I just feel an attraction to it. I just knew that was the style I'm gonna go with. So this was my first large piece, and still to this day, it is my largest piece that I have. I got it when I was like 19 or turning 20 or something like that. I can't, yeah. So maybe it's 11, wait, 20. Yeah, I got it when I was 20, so it's 11 years old actually. Wow, that's crazy. So I told him I wanted 2 American traditional style roses. He drew this up for me. This is hand drawn. It's not off the internet. This is off the internet. And you know, this is obviously just a symbol. That's a symbol by itself. And this he customized for me. I told him I wanted a banner and I wanted it to say, "Forget me not." And I have a lot of questions like, oh, are those forget me not flowers? No, they're not. They're fucking roses, okay? But the meaning behind forget me not is, in the roses, with this one solitary petal who's fallen away from the roses, is that when I die, I know this is getting deep. This is like emotional. This tattoo's like emotional. When I die, I really hope that I made a good impression on the world. I really hope that I am to be remembered. And, you know, when people think about me, they say, wow, do you remember how funny Christian was? Do you remember how nice she was? How empathetic she was? How caring she was? Do you remember what a good person she was? And I feel like, why wouldn't I want people to remember me that way? And I feel like saying it out loud right now sounds like really like vain or something. And I'm not trying to be vain. It's just like, I don't know why when I was younger, I used to think about death a lot. I still slightly think about death a lot. I feel like I've always thought about death a lot. I guess I just never say it out loud. But I always thought, like, you know, there was a point in time where I thought, if I die, I don't think even people are going to be affected. Like, sure, my parents will be sad, my family will be sad, but I really don't feel like I've done anything in this world to like make an impression. And so I just have been trying to make it my life's mission to make an impression on this world enough to where I'm remembered and people are talking about me long after I've passed, I guess. I don't know if that's selfish or weird or whatever, but I just don't want to be forgotten. So forget me not. So this is me, and this is like my family, all the petals in the flowers, like my friends and my family, and this is me leaving them. So yeah, it's kind of morbid now that I think about it, now that I say it out loud, but I really love this tattoo. It's so gorgeous. And let me give you a closer look at it. I love the banner. There's like a little cutout heart in the banner, if you can see it. You can see it over here. And I love the leaves that he put. There's like a purple backlighting also. And yeah, I think it's so beautiful and I really, really love it. I've always loved roses. It's my favorite flower. I grew up with roses. My great grandpa actually had a garden. He didn't speak any English. He only spoke Spanish. So our way of communicating when I was a kid, because he's passed now, is we would go over to visit him. He'd be so happy to see us. He'd take us out to the garden and he would just pick us all the roses from his garden. And I've just always loved roses. So I don't know. Roses are my favorite. So that was my third tattoo. That was a long explanation. But I get asked a lot, you know, forget me not. Like, what does that mean? So I just want to make an impression. I just want to matter, I guess, in this world. And this is not original at all. We found this on like a shopping list notepad that you can buy at the store. It was so stupid. But my mom and I one day were like hanging out, and I've always, when it comes to tattoos and piercings, I've always related with my mom. because she's totally cool with that. My dad is kind of like, oh my God, mija, stop covering yourself with all this stuff. You don't need all this stuff. And my mom's totally like, hell yeah, like, let's do it. So we decided to get matching tattoos. So this tattoo is matching with my mom. She has hers on her wrist and I have mine up here. And it's just a little skull crossbone girl. You know, there's like a little bow here, heart eyes, and yeah, there's no mouth on it. I always get a question as to why there's no mouth on the skull, and there was no mouth on the pamphlet, and we literally just took a piece of that pamphlet and said, hey, can you put this on us? And he was like, do you want me to add a mouth? It's the same guy, Quinny. He did this for the both of us. He was like, do you want me to put a mouth? And I was like, nah, I'm good. And the reason why we said not to put a mouth was because that day we were both fighting with our boyfriends at the time, which are exes now. And they were saying that we were getting too many tattoos, like separately, you know, like my boyfriend was saying, you shouldn't have any more tattoos. Like, you're a girl, like you're a woman, and you shouldn't have that many on you. It's gonna look ugly. And I was like, excuse the fuck? I don't know who the hell you think you are, but I'm my own fucking person. And I plan to be covered, so I don't know who. No. So that pissed me the hell off. And that's why I was at her house. And then her boyfriend as well was the same way. Like, why do you have all these? Like, it's just too much. Like, stop. Because she started getting tattoos at the same time I started getting tattoos. My mom never had tattoos until I was like 18. So we were like, F these motherfucking men. Let's go get tatted. And that's why we didn't put a mouth on it, because we felt like women were always meant to be like silenced by the man they were with. And we're supposed to just shut up and like do whatever they say because we're women and blah, blah, and I don't know. That's why we didn't get a mouth. We just felt like it was symbolism for that. But that, yeah, we're not the type of women who are just going to shut up and do whatever they say is the point. So anyways, yeah, that's my fourth tattoo. It's kind of small. And then my fifth tattoo, I think it's this one. Yeah, I think it's this one. So this is the second tattoo that I get asked so many questions on. I'm talking about strangers everywhere will ask me, is that lipstick and brass knuckle? What is that? Is that a lipstick? Is that a purse? Is that a knife? What is that? I'm like, it is a lipstick attached to brass knuckles. The brass knuckles, the finger holes are hearts. The lipstick was pinker before. It was more magenta. It's faded now. And this is a horribly executed tattoo. Oh my God, we're already at 20 minutes. Let me tell you, this is a horribly executed tattoo because it was done in a house. This was the only tattoo I have that's been done in a house by somebody who's not a professional. It was actually my ex-boyfriend. And so I started dating this guy, this ex-boyfriend of mine. And he was like, yeah, I do tattoos and this and that. I know this might sound shallow AF, but I was like, ooh, I can get some free tattoos if I date this guy. I know that sounds so messed up, but I was like 21, okay? So please don't judge me. Anyways, the whole time we were dating, I was like begging him to give me tattoos and he wouldn't do it. And I was like, what the hell is the point of me being here then? That is so wrong, okay? Then we broke up. And then I really wanted a tattoo. We were still friends. We were still talking as friends. It just wasn't working out as a relationship. So I broke up with him. And I was like, hey, like, can you finally do me a tattoo? Like, I'll pay you. And he was like, yeah. So I told him what I wanted. I was trying to be super original, come up with my own idea. I even searched on Google everywhere in every combination to see if this kind of tattoo even existed. I didn't find anything. So if you've seen somebody else with any tattoo that's a lipstick attached to a brass knuckles, please tell me in the comments, because still to this day, I'm pretty sure it's the most original piece of art. I don't want to call it artwork, whatever. Tattoo, it's not like the artiest artwork I have, but I guess it still is artwork that I have on my body. To this day, it is my most original idea I've ever had. So the reason for the lipstick and the brass knuckles is I just wanted something with makeup. This was when I was going to cosmetology school. I was like, I finally found my passion. I love makeup. I love hair. And I wanted to have like a tribute to that. So I wanted to get a lipstick, but I had seen a lot of lipstick tattoos and I hate how they're just like floating there. And I just didn't like it. For me, I just didn't like the way it looked with the lipstick just floating there. Personally, no offense to anybody who has that. So I was like, I just need to do something else with it. What could I do? So I don't know why I thought of brass knuckles, because that's like hella aggressive, because it's literally right in front of the arm. And it's like the first thing you see if I'm wearing a short sleeve or a tank top is just brass knuckles. And I'm like, what's up? You know, but I decided to put hearts as the finger holes so that it wasn't so scary and it wasn't so intimidating. And it's also just like I'm strong and I'm pretty. You know, like I'm pretty and I love makeup and stuff and I'm cute, but also don't fuck with me. So that's kind of what this is right here. It doesn't really mean anything. I just liked how it was like, oh, I'm cute, but don't fuck with me because I'm also a bad bitch. So yeah, it looks horrible, you guys. Like, oh my gosh, the coloring is all spotty. It's not done well. He used white ink right here as a highlight. White ink is just terrible. It comes out very fast, like it's already gone. And yeah, it just needs to be, it needs to be reworked so badly. But eventually I would like to get it reworked. Like once I have the rest of my sleeve, because I'm planning on turning this into a sleeve. Once I have everything else done, I want to go and get this reworked, because I really do love this tattoo. It's so original and I think it's really cool, but it has to be reworked, girl. So okay, the tattoo I got after that, I'm trying to think. All right, I'm pretty sure, are we on number 6? I don't remember. I'm just gonna start going through them because it's already at 23 minutes. So it's my elbow tattoo. And I've always loved the look of the spider web on the elbow, but I know that people who have that, it's like a jail thing, and I wasn't in prison. So I was like, why would I do that? And also I don't want to be like ratchet looking. No offense. Again, no offense. This is just back in the day when things were so different. And when I say back in the day, I even mean like 8 years ago or like 7 years ago, 6 years ago. Things were just way different than they are now. So nowadays you can get a spider web tattoo on your elbow and it's just a style and it's just what you like. Like I follow this girl Violet Demion on YouTube, and she just got, I feel like recently in the past year or so, got a spider web, like a traditional American traditional spider web tattoo on her elbow, and it's like such cool style. I love her style. She does like American traditional as well, and she has all of hers just black and gray art, but it looks so good, and she can just get it as a style now. Like that's cool. But even a few years ago, it kind of wasn't a thing to do that, because it was like the universal symbol of I've been to prison type of thing. So that's why I didn't want to get a spider web, but I still liked the aesthetic of it and how it looked on the elbow. And so I decided to get a ship helm, which is a ship steering wheel. And it's like in a traditional style. There's all the little dots around, which is kind of like Sailor Jerry-ish, which I love Sailor Jerry. And this is when I started to really get into liking his style of things. And this is just off the internet, guys. This is not original at all. Like I have original stuff and then I have not original at all. But I really like this tattoo still. I don't think the guy executed it as well as someone else could have, although it is a tough spot because it's an elbow, and I was asking for a bunch of circles and straight lines, which is already hard in general. This one is all faded, so I need to get that touched up, but I still really like it. I think it's really cool and really original. And thinking of Sailor Jerry, sailor, a ship, helm. I haven't been on a ship and I'm not a sailor, but I just really like the idea of it, and I've always loved the ocean. And it doesn't really matter, guys. That's the thing about tattoo, is like if you just like it, you like it. And basically we're just canvases for collecting art. So some people may collect art that costs them thousands of dollars on their walls, in their hallways, in their bedrooms, in their living rooms. And some people just collect it on their bodies. So I just like the way it looks in general. I don't really need an excuse for it, but yeah, it's a ship helm. And that one, I feel like it felt really weird. And a lot of people ask me like, oh my God, that must have hurt so bad. And I honestly don't remember it. And I think it's because what I always say when people say, oh, that hurt, right? If you want something bad enough, you're going to do it no matter how much it hurts. And that's just the bottom line. So if you're not willing to take the pain to get the reward, then you don't want it bad enough. And I feel like that's just with anything. Like this one really didn't bother me. It took 4.5 hours, but it really didn't bother me until I started getting swollen after 2.5 hours. My whole arm was so swollen, then it was so tender, and then I was like, oh my gosh, this really hurts. I had a minor interruption, but so what were we talking about? Okay, this one. So the one after that, I really don't remember the order, which is crazy because it's more recent. But anyways, let's just move on with the rest of my arm. So I have this moth here, which I got on Friday the 13th, and this was my first Friday the 13th tattoo. And I just knew I wanted one of those death moths because I just like the way that they look, no particular reason. And then it has the 1-3 in it. Let me see. Yeah, so just black, super simple, but I still love it. Then I got a tooth here with these little lines around it, which I don't know why, but I absolutely love it. And I get a lot of questions about why I have a tooth tattooed on me. And I don't know, I just like the way that it looks. It's like a little bit creepy and cute, and I just like it. So I like to say it's a wisdom tooth because I'm wise. That's the quick answer when I don't know what to say when people ask me, but I just really like it. And it's super clean and really cute. And these are done by the same guy, Zen1 Tattooism on Instagram. So he's in San Antonio. Then I have this one that I also got on Friday the 13th. And it is an eyeball with bat wings. And I absolutely love it. And I always wanted an eyeball tattooed on me. And again, I don't know why I have body parts tattooed on me, but I love it. It's a little creepy, a little cute. I just really like it. So yeah, this was my Friday the 13th, another one. No color or anything, but I love it. It's so cute. So anyways, what else do I have on here? I have this one. Why am I standing up? I can do this, I guess. So I have this one that I got in San Antonio as well by Ray Pena, Ray Pena Machines on Instagram. And it's just a flower. I was trying to fill some space. I was trying to fill some space here. And also I love flowers and it's traditional. So all of these are pretty traditional except for this one and my newest one. They're all like American traditional. So I just wanted a flower. He just designed it for me with some extra leaves. And then the same guy also did this one, which I think I do have to stand up for this one, which this one is, the kiss is kind of like the wrong way, but it's okay. So this is a love letter sealed with a kiss, which is a popular American traditional style like tattoo. I'm like trying to show you guys, this is harder than I thought it was gonna be. But yeah, it's a love letter sealed with a kiss. And I think I got this for our anniversary because like we went and treated ourselves to tattoos on one of our anniversaries. And I chose this one. It's a pretty big one. And I remember getting super swollen here. Like this is a very tender area. And I got super swollen for this one. But I like it. It's just a little love letter with some like coral type of like traditional flowers around it. And usually it has a little heart on the traditional love letters, and I decided to do a kiss with lipstick just to be different. And also I love lipstick, so it works out. And then I also have both of my kids' names tattooed on the tops of my wrists in an American traditional style. This is by somebody else. I don't know where he's at now. I think he's in San Marcos and his name is Travis, but I really don't know any of his information, so I'm sorry. Because I know I do have some subscribers who live in Texas and like ask me where I get tattooed, but I don't remember his information. Anyways, so he did this one. Oh, my shoulder just gave out. he did this one first for my daughter Mila, and it's just a little banner with 2 little roses and the Sailor Jerry like stars and dots and stuff. And it's, I don't know what kind of writing this is, like Old English or something maybe, I don't know. Just really cute writing. And then of course when my son was born, I wanted to get this afterwards, and so it's Austin. And this one looks way cleaner. When I went to him to get this one, he was like, believe it or not, I became a better artist. So you'll notice that this one just looks way cleaner and better than this one. I still love this one, but you know, when you see the comparison, it just looks way better. So I love having the 2 of them on the tops of my wrist. I think it's cool. It's like bracelets. It's my baby's. And his is a red sun because he's my son. And the guy was like, I want to do a red sun. Let's do it red. And I was like, okay, sure. And then a bunch of stars and little dots like Sailor Jerry. And the same day as I got this one, I also got my wedding ring tattooed and this tattooed. So this says create yourself. And I like it because it's just kind of like a reminder of I can be whoever I want to be, can do whatever I want to do. I'm going to create my own persona. You know, I'm in control of who I am and my life. And I don't know, like create yourself. You don't have to just grow up and be what you were taught. You can make your own decisions. So I don't know, create yourself. And I like that. Individuality. So then I got my wedding ring tattoo, which is actually a little queen crown. Very simple. You can't really do much detail on the fingers. I feel like it's tough. So it's just like a very simple little queen crown, because their king crown is like that typical one you see with the points. And this is a queen crown because my last name is King. So that's the whole pun of it all. Is my last name is King, but I'm the queen and he's the king. So I thought it was cute as my wedding ring. I don't wear a wedding ring on a daily basis because I just don't like it. We're just not those type of people. My husband also has a wedding ring tattoo. His is Roman numerals and it is our anniversary date, the day we got married. So we're just not those types of people to be wearing rings all the time. So we always knew we were gonna get it tattooed. And yeah, so I am married. Some people might think like, oh, she just has a cute tattoo on her finger. Like people that I know you guys know, but like people that I see out or like friends or coworkers, and I'm like, no, like this is actually my wedding ring. Like I have an engagement ring. I have it tucked away because I don't like to wear rings like that. So anyways, then I have all of these little dots on my fingers. So please excuse my half-assed nail painting job. I was just in a rush to film this video and I just put one layer on, so I still need to finish them. But I decided to get all of these little finger tattoos, and I've actually had them done twice because the first time, literally I can't remember which one it was, but one of my middle fingers, like the dot completely disappeared. Like the ink just came out, and then the other one started fading. So I've had these done twice, and let me tell you, these hurt. These were fine. This was fine. This one was fine. But the fingers hurt so bad. And that pain I do remember. I remember these hurting really bad, even though it took a second for each finger. This one definitely really hurt. Ugh, there's like no fat on your finger bones. Like right here, I mean, there's like barely anything. So of course it's gonna hurt. But I really like it, and the reason I got little dots there is because when I worked at Starbucks, I wasn't allowed to have my nails painted, couldn't have long nails done, acrylics, nothing. And it always bothered me that I just had these short boy nails that I couldn't express myself with. So I got the little dots there as a decoration to my fingers, since I wasn't allowed to have my nails painted, but I was allowed to have colored hair and show all my tattoos. So that's why I got those little dots. I love them to this day, and I think that they enhance my nails whenever I paint my nails or have long nails. I think it looks that much cuter. I love the little dots there. So moving on, so I have this moon here that I got for like a Halloween deal. They were like, oh, in the month of October, come get a tattoo for like $30. So I got a little crescent moon. Like I said, I love the night sky. I love nocturnal things. I once was super nocturnal. Now I'm old and I fall asleep at like 8:30 sometimes. But when I was younger, I literally was like an insomniac. Like I would never sleep. I would sleep all day long when I finally did fall asleep, but I wouldn't fall asleep till like 4 a.m. and then wake up at 2 p.m. the next day. And I was just super nocturnal, super insomniac when I was younger. So I don't know, I love the night. I love the night. I've always worked at night and I'm just like a night person. There's morning people and there's night people. I'm a night people. I'm not a morning person. I have to become a morning person now that I'm a parent. I've had to become one. I'm forced to be one, but I don't like it. So yeah, just got a little crescent moon because I think it's really cute, and I've always wanted like a neck tattoo. But while I was working at Starbucks, you can't have tattoos on your face or your neck, but you can have them on your chest and your arms and everywhere else. So I was like, what if I just get it right at the throat? Like this is right where like you swallow, like that little hollow part, it's right there. So I was like testing my boundaries, testing my limits, and I was like, well, if I get it right here, it's not really like on my neck, so I'm allowed to have it, right? So that's why I put it there. But I love neck tattoos, and one day I hope to be able to have a neck tattoo and some more chest stuff because I think it looks gorgeous. But I can't risk it right now because I don't have a set career yet that's really paying the bills that I can say F you to any job who's not gonna hire me. So I'm not there yet, so I can't do that yet. Then I have this tattoo that says, with pain comes strength, and this means so much to me. And I also get a lot of questions on this tattoo because a lot of times my shirts will be like this, and so they'll be like, what does your chest say? And I'm like, huh? Oh yeah. And they're like, I have to remember what it says, but with pain comes strength. I've obviously gone through a lot of ups and downs in my life, a lot of bad times, a lot of hard times, as have a lot of other people. You know, I definitely didn't have it the worst, but I definitely had some very difficult times. I definitely didn't have self-worth for most of my life. I didn't. And all of that pain has brought me so much strength and so much wisdom. And I just want to remember that every single day. Like, I'm so happy and so blessed to be where I am right now in life and who I'm with in life, who I'm surrounded by. And I truly feel like I earned it and I deserve it. And I went through a lot of pain to get here. I went through a lot of pain and suffering, emotionally mostly. It was a lot of emotional stuff. I went through a lot of hurt. And yeah, so I love this tattoo. It means a lot and it will always mean a lot. And I can always look back and say, I don't regret anything I've been through, even if it was bad, because it made me so strong and it made me so wise. And it's not like I'd wish it upon me again. I wouldn't wish it on anybody else what I've been through. But I know that it was for a purpose. It was to make me strong, to make me wise, and to make me smarter for the future. So I've even had like, when I used to work at Starbucks, you know, like you become, I don't know if you guys work at a place like Starbucks, like I swear you just become people's therapists. And like the old ladies will always want to talk to me and the old man will want to talk to me about my tattoos, and they'll ask me what this means and blah, blah, blah. I'll tell them and they're like, you are such a wise young lady for your age. Like I've always been told that. That's what happens when you get hurt a lot. Literally, when you get hurt a lot in your adolescence, like you just become so emotionally wise. Like, let me know if you relate, okay? So I forgot, I always forget about this tattoo, guys. I always forget that I have this tattoo on the back of my neck. Sorry if you see purple on the back of my neck, but I just recently redid my hair, so normally it just stains the back of my neck purple. So yeah, that is the tattoo on the back of my neck. It's not the cutest. It definitely has to be redone, but I always forget it's there. And usually you get tattoos like up here, and I literally got it like on my hunchback area. So I'm very confused why I did that. And it's just random AF. I don't know. I always forget it's there. It's just a little heart, and it looks like a patch that's like stitched onto me. There's like little stitches on it. And that's another thing of like my heart being like broken and hurting and emotional, you know that old song and dance. So got that with my cousin. I actually have a matching tattoo with her as well. She has hers on her hip and I have mine here. So I'm so basic because I have 2 matching tattoos with 2 different people. Like, I'm literally so basic. Anyways, on to, I believe, the last tattoo. Yeah, is the most recent one. God, I really hope I'm not forgetting anything. I don't think I am. But the last tattoo I have is the most recent one that I just got, if you guys saw my vlog when I went to San Antonio. And it is this creepy tree, this little spooky, dead, creepy tree. And I'm completely obsessed with it. You guys know I love the spooky season. I just wanted to carry the spooky season with me always because I love it. I love bats. Actually, when I got this tattoo, I had requested him to have bats holding the banner because I just always wanted bats in a tattoo because I love them and I find nocturnal animals so interesting. Like bats and owls are my favorite. So he was like, I can't work it in. I don't think it's gonna look good. I'm not gonna do it. And I was like, all right, fine. I'll do it another time. And I finally got my bats and I love them so much. And it's just all black, you know, black. I don't even think there's gray really. It's really just black. This is the biggest amount of like black tattoo that I've ever had. And let me tell you, it hurts. Okay, a lot of people say, I've heard a lot of people say that color hurts them. They're like, oh my God, the shading and the coloring, it hurts so bad. I'm like, that's hilarious. I feel like the color hurts the least. I think the outlines hurt really bad and solid black hurts really bad because the thing with black is you have to really pack it in there for it to just like pop off the skin. I mean, obviously black pops regardless. When you have a lighter skin tone like myself, it's gonna pop regardless, but they don't want it to be like a faded black. They want it to be like a black, like a jet black. So they really pack it. And they use a different needle for shading and color and for black. So it's different. And it just hurt a lot. It hurt a lot. It was super tender, and especially down here on my wrist because it's like partly on my wrist. Ooh, girl, it freaking hurt. But he drew this spooky tree on, so this is original. He drew it on my arm. He didn't have a stencil or nothing. He didn't do it ahead of time because this is supposed to be like almost like a filler of this area. So since I had a lot of other surrounding tattoos, he went and drew it on and customized it for me. And I absolutely love how many little branches he put. He did an amazing job. He left some highlights on there and I love it. I seriously love it. And what I wanted was a bunch of like a flock of bats to just be flying out of the tree and around my tattoos. So there's like little bats, big bats. Some of them have their wings spread. Some of them have their wings up. And I love it so much. And it goes all the way around to over here. I love this tattoo so much. I'm very happy with it. I love how it looks. It looks creepy. Upside down, it almost looks like veins or something, like creepy black veins. I don't know. I'm completely loving it. So that is all the tattoos, you guys. And now I'm going to get into the piercings. This is gonna be, oh my God, this is such a long video. So if you're still with me, put a black heart in the comments, like right now. All right, let's get into the piercings. I'm gonna tell you about the current piercings I have. I have had other piercings. I used to have a lot more. So right now I have my septum pierced, which I actually pierced myself. I have a video on it. I guess I can link it at the end if you want to see it. But I pierced this myself during lockdown. During this pandemic, I got a little crazy and I was just needing to do something because I was just, you know, feeling pent up like all of us were. And so I pierced my own septum. It was like the least painful piercing I've ever had. It was amazing. Perfect. I bought a good like professional piercing kit off of Amazon. Do your research. But yeah, I got hollow needles. They're super sharp, surgical steel, comes with the jewelry, clamps and all that. I didn't use clamps. I freehanded it and I got it super straight and I'm absolutely obsessed with this piercing. never thought in my life that I would want to get a septum piercing, because I feel like everybody in their mother and their father and their brother and their sister and their uncle and their auntie have septum piercings. Like literally, it's just the generation below us. I feel like it's their thing is septum piercings. It's super like indie and like alternative-ish. Anyways, I was like, I don't want to be basic and get it because everybody has it, but I was like, what would be the easiest piercing for me to do? Like, I want something, and we wear a mask so I could heal it, you know, and because at work I can show my tattoos. It's really weird, and I can have this purple hair, but they don't want me to have face piercings, so it's kind of weird. So I had to always put a retainer in this nose piercing. So I was like, let's do something on my face because then I can heal it. And then when it's healed, sorry, I keep burping from my kombucha. When it's healed, I can flip it up when I don't have to wear a mask anymore, but it looks like we're going to be wearing masks for a lot longer than we thought. Anywho's, I'm absolutely obsessed with this piercing. It literally didn't hurt. On a scale 1 to 10, it was like a 0.5. Like, it's amazing. And I'm not telling you to pierce yourself. I'm just saying, like, if you want to go get a piercing, because now tattoo shops are open. They weren't before. This one is so painless. I love it. I think it looks really cute. I have a really tiny ring. I know a lot of people have like big rings. I don't like the whole big ring thing. Plus I have big lips. I feel like it would just like get in my way and like piss me off. So I love how tiny this little ring is. And then I have my nose pierced, and I just have a hoop in it, and I love it. I've always loved my nose piercing. I used to have this one pierced, and I let it close up after I had my daughter. So I got this one pierced a couple of years ago in San Antonio. And over on this ear, I have my rook pierced. That one hurt like a beach. That one hurt. The conch, it hurt like a beach. Dude, that one freaking hurt too. I have this really cute earring in it that I got from Spencer's. This jewelry is literally the same jewelry that I've had in it since I got it pierced. So it's probably been in there for like maybe like 8 years, 10 years. I can't even remember. It's been a long time, and I probably should take it out and clean it. But the thing with these captive bead rings is like I cannot put them in for the life of me, so I'm afraid to take it out because I can't put it back in. Yeah, so those two really freaking hurt. And then I do when I was younger, I used to pierce myself a lot, like my ears and all that. So I have 2 holes here that I tried to pierce myself, which are terrible. They're not even placed right. These 3rd holes I pierced myself. This is actually a 3rd hole. I just recently put a 16 gauge in there, so I technically stretched it, but really I just wanted this. It came in my piercing kit. It's just got a ball on each side, and really I just wanted this because it's more comfortable to wear, because then it doesn't poke me when I lay down. And I hate regular earrings for that. Like regular studs, I hated how they always poked you. And also they tarnish unless you have real jewelry, which I never wear real jewelry. I always wear like the cheapy ones from Walmart. And this is surgical steel, so it never turns green and it never tarnishes, and I can shower with it, and it's just less maintenance, and that's why I have that. But it's a 16 gauge. So this one is a 2nd hole, which I'm pretty sure is closed up. Like if I tried to put something in it, I think something would go in it, but I don't use it because ever since I stretched my ears, the 2nd hole starts to face towards the back and it just doesn't line up right. So I don't use the 2nd hole anymore. My 1st holes, I got these pierced when I was like 8 months old, but when I was 16, I started to stretch them, and I got all the way up to a 1/2 inch, which is pretty big. I mean, I think it's pretty, I mean, it's not like that or anything, but it was a 1/2 inch anyways. And recently, I think a year ago, I just decided to take them out because I was like so sick of like not being able to wear girly dangly hoop earrings. Like I used to wear big hoop earrings underneath my plugs and my tunnels, but it hurts. Like it doesn't feel comfortable. And so I was like, man, I really wish wearing cute earrings. Like even though I loved my gauges and I think they're so cool, and I feel really badass that I stretched them myself from a 18, 20 gauge to a 1/2 inch. And I didn't go, like I know you can go to a piercing tattoo shop and they can hole punch ya. So you can be from an 18-20 automatically to like a size 2, which is like cheating in my opinion, because I stretched this myself, went through all that pain for years and years. And so I felt like such a badass that I had those, but I was just so sick of it. And I'm like a woman now and I want to wear dangly earrings and I want to wear cute shit. So I decided to try to let it close up. And it is, you know, it's probably like half the size as it used to be. Like if I had to guess, this would be like a size, I feel like 2, I think. I feel like a size 2 if I had to guess, but it is significantly smaller, so that's good. Like I used to be able to stick my whole finger in here. Like I could literally put my whole finger in here and I would like freak my friends out, but I can't do that anymore because it's closed up, but it's still not all the way closed up, but it's still better than it was because I can wear regular earrings. And if I wear hoops, sometimes they'll go all the way around and the clasp will be on the bottom, but for the most part I can wear certain earrings. I obviously can't wear the regular studs, it wouldn't work, but like the hook earrings and like hoops I can wear, and it doesn't look too bad because I didn't have those big gauges like this. So that was a long explanation. And then over here I have a little bit different. I have a rook piercing again because I just wanted to be symmetrical when I got these. I got them at separate times though, so I could sleep on a separate ear. But if you don't know, I'll tell you, when you get ear piercings, you just do this. Make a little hole. Make a little hole for your ear and you can still sleep on the side that you got pierced in, and that's what I do now. But so I have this rook pierce. It hurt just as much as that one. And then I have my other third hole here and the other second hole and the other gauged ear, which this one looks even worse. This looks like a you-know-what. It looks like a slit. You know what I'm talking about? It looks like a slit. I don't know why it looks different than the other one, but it does. Anyways, then I pierced my own helix, cartilage, whatever you call this, flat, maybe? Yeah, helix, I think. I did this a few months ago, I believe. And I also just pierced my tragus a month ago, I want to say. If not a month, 2 months ago. I just pierced my own tragus. So I will say this one hurt so bad, like ew, disgusting. Never want to pierce that part of my ear again. But the tragus did not even hurt. It was probably out of like scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most painful, it was like a 2. Yeah, so did these 2 and this one, so 3 piercings in the quarantine pandemic time. So anyways, that is it for up here. And the last piercing that I have to show y'all is my belly button. So here's my belly button piercing. And I actually pierced it myself when I was 16 years old with a safety pin. I do not recommend it. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. It was terrible. I like almost passed out. But I still have it to this day, like 15 years later, still have it, still love it. And it's perfect. It's like the placement is good. I guess I just have like a natural knack for piercing myself or something. I don't know, but that is all the piercings that I have right now. Quickly, I'll tell you, I used to have the Monroe piercing. You can still see the hole right there. So I used to have that one, used to have the other side here, and I used to have my eyebrow piercing. You can see the 2 little holes there. And yeah, that is it, guys. That is the whole tour. I'm literally so tired of hearing myself talk right now. Dang. Well, I hope that this was enjoyable for you guys and fun and different. Please let me know if you like throwback videos like this. Like I can do a what's in my purse again. I know that was really popular. I feel like I did it a year ago. But yeah, give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And subscribe to my channel if you are new. Mostly I do a lot of vlogs and hauls. If you're interested in that, then stay tuned. But again, thank y'all for watching, and I will go ahead and see you guys in the next video.